World leaders just touched down in Davos, and they have a lot to process from you-know-who. Because this weekend, he fired off angry text messages to Norway's prime minister, blaming the country for denying him the Nobel Peace Prize, even though the country doesn't have anything to say about who gets the award. And then he hinted that the snub has made him even more determined to take control of Greenland. But he had a different take on things last night. Take a look.
Can you speak to your letter that you wrote to the Prime Minister saying that the Nobel Prize has influenced your thinking on Greenland?
No, I don't care about the Nobel Prize. First of all, a very fine woman felt that I deserved it and really wanted me to have the Nobel Prize, and I appreciate that. If anybody thinks that Norway doesn't control the Nobel Prize, they're just kidding. They have a board, but it's controlled by Norway, and I don't care what Norway says. But I really don't care about that. What I care about is saving lives.
So he's meeting with leaders who used to be our closest allies. And the question is, how should they handle this? I mean, he's also trying to put together this peace board or whatever it is, where it cost $1 billion to be part of it. Now, I don't know why it needs to be $1 billion. He says he's going to rebuild stuff. He doesn't own the stuff he's trying to rebuild.
Yeah, also having Russia included doesn't give peace at the moment.
Yeah, it's very freaky to me.
I was struck by the 1 a.m. and 1:30 just series of Truth Social posts. If my husband got up in the middle of the night and started posting private texts between his colleagues and was just rage tweeting, I'd be like, hey, honey, let's get a good night's sleep. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Maybe
you would be sleeping next to that person.
Exactly.
I don't know that he's sleeping next to anybody.
But also, just a couple of quick factual matters here. The submissions for the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 closed on January 20th, 2025. He'd been in office 11 days, so these 8 wars and these conflicts he's talking about, that hadn't even happened yet.
So he just those 8 wars. Do you know what he's talking about?
Well, I could rattle them all off, but they're debatable. Yeah. So he wasn't even technically eligible for anything he had done in office. As you mentioned, the Nobel Committee is different than the Norwegian government.
Yes.
And then finally, I just feel like he's thirstier for a Nobel Peace Prize than Timothée Chalamet is for an Oscar at this point. Like, talk about it less. I love Timothée Chalamet, but let your work speak for itself.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, because this is deadly serious, Greenland is our ally. Denmark is our ally. If tomorrow we said there is a national security need that we need to put 10,000 troops in Greenland, they would agree to. It's part of the collective defense of NATO. We currently have about 100 U.S. Air Force and Space Force stationed in Greenland. And what I've yet to hear this administration articulate, and I would love to genuinely hear it, explain why we have to own it. Why it's not simply enough to just have our forces there with other NATO allies as we've done for decades. And that question hasn't been answered.
No.
And then finally, for the senators who I've seen some folks pushing back, I applaud Tom Tillis and others, but if you are banking on he's just saying he's going to take over Greenland, he's dead serious. I can assure you that he's gone too far. He cannot walk it back at this point.
See, I think that this is the end of it now for him. It has to be. And Americans need to step up now. It's not enough to go into the streets. It's not enough to vote. I believe that people need to start calling their congressmen and their senators. I mean, he has eroded civil rights at this point.
Yes.
He's erasing history.
Yes.
He's wrecking the economy. It's going to be decades before we get back to where we're supposed to be. And he's alienating us from our friends in NATO.
Yeah.
And all because he's not getting his award.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the shrinks call that a narcissistic injury.
Yes.
And that is what will get us into World War III because his ego is involved. Well, and the only thing that Americans can do, including us, I mean, we have a forum here and we speak out. People out there have no way of dealing with this. That's why they come in here and love us so much lately.
Well, he put that.
But get on. So I would just say, get on the phone. Get on the phone, leave a message, look up who these people are in your area, and say, It's time to do something about this guy because he's leading us into World War
25th
III.
Amendment.
He also put the last nail in the coffin on ever getting a Nobel Peace Prize. The fastest way to lose a Peace Prize is to threaten war when you don't get it. But another thing is
That was funny, by the way.
Thank you. The quickest way to lose influence is to attack those who give it to you. We stand by our allies. Peace over these years, we were always a dominant force, but we didn't do it by ourselves. We did it with alliances. We did it with deals. And this isn't what anyone wanted. Nobody voted for this. And right now, his ratings are suffering deeply. Everything here, immigration, foreign policy, the economy, all net negatives, 11,
Right.
14, 16. But do you know what has the most? He has negative 38% on the Epstein files. And I just want to remind people, whenever you wake up and you feel like it might be a Saturday Night Live sketch, which I did, I literally thought this was AI or The Onion releasing this headline. I looked at it and I thought, with Donald Trump, you always have to say what's going on over here. And I don't know if it's still the Epstein files, but this tirade and everything going on.
A million pieces of
Something
evidence.
is going
A
on that
million.
you're doing this.
I think
He's
that
lost his
when
mind.
it comes to, I know Whoopi was talking about the 25th Amendment, and a lot of
Yes.
people are saying maybe what's happening is that
conversation about it, at least.
He's losing it a little bit. But I will say this, I think when it comes to Donald Trump, you just have to follow the money. That's all. I mean, this is just one whole huge grift for him. Why does he want Greenland? Because it has rare minerals that are generally used for technology. And he's on sort of this imperialistic sort of mission. And I think you're right, Alyssa. I think when he says, I want to take Greenland, we need to believe him the first time, right? Because he's been saying it over and over and over again. Just like Dr. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. We should have believed him back in 2016,
but you know what?
and we need to believe him
Can I
now.
interrupt you?
Well,
I don't think that he's well. I really don't.
Well-
and so I blame the Congress, not him,
Well,
as
that's-
much as
well-
the people who are allowing this.
Well, that's the 25th Amendment
Yes.
issue that people are
Right.
talking about. But let me, you
Well,
know,
that's the cabinet, though. That's what makes it complicated.
Whoever is allowing it needs to step up now, because this is enough.
But let me also just say this to put a button on it. He said to the Prime Minister, okay, of Norway, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars, plus, which is not true, that's
See what I mean?
exaggerated and inflated. He said, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. And then he also said, Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China, and why do they have a right of ownership to it anyway? So he doesn't even believe that Denmark has a right and that
He might want to do a little
has
homework.
Well, of
There's
course,
a
and
whole
that
explanation
Greenland
of
is
how this
semi-autonomous,
worked. Yeah.
and so he's saying what he's saying is the quiet part out loud. He is going to try to take Greenland, and we need to do everything we can to
Well,
stop.
And
you
we
know-
just wanted cheaper groceries.
That's all we want.
Well, apparently, you know, people forgot that we have to take care of each other. You know, I think people, when you vote for one idea, you miss the fact that you're leaving out other people. And if you don't know the scope of what somebody's attitude is towards the people of the country, we find ourselves in this situation. So, what needs to happen is, yes, people need to call, people need to get out, people and march. We have to do all of these things. We can, you know, they always talk about people being woke. I always say, you know, I don't think women ever went to sleep. I don't think
still
black
don't
people
sleep.
went to sleep because we knew that this was going to be a fight forever. So maybe they fell asleep and didn't realize that we were moving forwards and the country was growing and becoming the nation she says she wants to be. Maybe they didn't get it, and now it's time for us to show them and tell them that we are not, it's done. We're done. We've drawn the line in the sand. I don't want to go to war over Greenland. I don't want to go to war because he's not able to get the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't want it. I don't want it for my grandson. I don't want it for your son. I don't want it for any of our kids. And this now is on us.